Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who rule well. Peace and blessings to the Akim and Akwath, faithfully pushing forward this word of truth, regardless of those who hear or forbear, risking their life and them to do so. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, it means He is. Yahweh Shai is the name of His Son, it means He saves. HaKadosh is the name of the Holy Spirit in Hebrew. Call on Yahweh Shai if you're in trouble, man. The name of the Lord is a strong fortress. The righteous run into Him and saved. That's one of the scriptures. But just we're putting that name out there because there's no other name under heaven which you may be saved. So it's very important. I always do that at the start of every lesson. Always talk about who the Yahweh is, what His name is, what it means. How Shai is, what His name is, what it means. Or HaKadosh is, what His name is, what it means. Wanted to talk a little bit about prophecy. We're told that we need to be occupied in prophecy, right? Let's see. It's our job. It's our job to be occupied in prophecy. So we gotta keep our eye on what's happening. Oh. Is it occupied got TPs? I don't think so. Anyway, that's our job, to be occupied, continually watching for prophecies. Let's see. And one of the jobs of what I can see at the moment is there's a big rise in AI, and we're told that the grinding of the mill shall cease. So the AI is gonna eat everybody's lunch. I don't think anybody really realizes it, but unless you're out there, if you've got a desk job, if you're a thought worker, if you use your brain rather than your hands to do work, you got about maximum 8 years, I'd say, and that's generous, before your job drastically changes, if it exists at all. Before your job becomes something that is mainly about giving machines what they need in order to do your job. Whether it is servicing like machines with energy or data or whatever. They're even talking about universal basic compute as a form of currency. So your job, the amount of that people will be exchanging compute as currency, So something to think about. Something indeed to think about. Ecclesiastes 12:4. And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of a bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. So, talk about how the grinding of the mill will come to an end. Let's see the mill. See if I can get some. I'm sure there's something about the grinding of the mill shall cease, but maybe I ain't got it right. The grinding will be low. The economy will be barely functioning, and that's because AI is going to come and take a lot of the work that people are doing. A lot of the value that people are putting into society will not necessarily need to be, could be done better by a machine. And what happens when that happens? Well, the more and more, it's a race to the bottom at that point, because more and more people will put more and more trust in machines in order to, for them to operate more efficiently. The machines will be able to operate more efficiently than us. And at that point, the only way to be competitive is to automate more of your company, get rid of more and more people, and have more and more stuff done by the machines. Ultimately, that's going to lead to widespread hunger, and the devaluation of our currency and the control of our currency. Let's see, cost gold. Let's see if that's in there. Isaiah 31:7. For in that day every man shall cast away his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which your own hands have made unto you for a sin. Ezekiel 7:19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of their wrath of the Lord. So it's funny that the gold shall be removed. It reminds me of what they did before they took everybody off the gold standard. They told everybody that the gold was, that people weren't allowed to carry gold. They removed it. And then the silver was worthless and people just threw it around. Nobody cared about it. We're coming into those times when the value of work, the value of the economy, the grinding will be low, and that because the mill was typically the heart of the economy, right? It's where the farmers went and they took their wheat to make flour, and people bought flour. The baker was coming around there. Maybe he was coming up and selling a little bit of bread, and you had the people with their oxen and their carts who would kind of, they'd be renting out their oxen to work the mill. If it was animal powered, you had people, farmers. So it's a lot of activity around the mill. It's a center of the economy. And the sound of the grinding will be low. There's not going to be hardly anything moving, man. It's all going to be electronic. This kind of moves into the fact that there may be UBI, different ways of giving people income, different ways of giving people benefit, because there's not going to be enough economy to go around. There's not going to be enough value, wealth creation to sustain a family. And I'm talking about, let's see, I think it was in Daniel 2. Daniel 2, they're talking about how things are going to be going at that time. Let's see what we got there. From Daniel 2:20, Daniel answered and said, "Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his." Hold on, I'm gonna. He revealed the deep and secret things. The image of his head was of fine gold, the breasts of his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs are of iron, his feet part iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon the feet, and the iron and clay, and break them into pieces. Then was iron and clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold. So this Daniel's telling the king what dream he had. First of all, he wasn't even telling him the interpretation. He was saying, "I know what you dreamed, broken pieces together and became like a chaff." And the king must have been stunned, because sometimes you have a dream but you can't quite remember all of it. But if someone was to prompt you and say, "Oh yeah, this happened," then it will come back. But for some reason, there's something that happens when you wake up. You kind of forget your dreams, and you often need something in the world, or like in reality, to prompt you, or to remind you of something in your dream. You'll be like, "Oh snap! Yeah, I had that dream. I remember that dream now." So imagine if if you had this dream, you could probably remember most of it, but then someone came and told you every single detail. You'll be rocked, because some parts of it might be becoming clearer to you at the time. This is a dream, and we'll tell the interpretation thereof before the king. And who it the beasts of the field and fowls of heaven hath given into thine hand, and have made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold, and after thee shall rise another kingdom inferior to thee, another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh into pieces and subdueth all things, and iron that breaketh all these shall break into pieces and bruise. So that was the Roman Empire. One sec. Yeah. And those that saw his feet and toes be part of clay and part of iron, the king. So it's interesting that the toes, part of clay and part of iron, shows that the Roman influence of the empire was inside of this kingdom, because they were kind of part iron, so it's kind of Roman influenced. And, we are living in the image of the beast, the beast or the dragon, that great dragon that came back up. It was made alive again after a period of imprisonment. The kingdom shall be divided, but they shall be in it the strength of iron, for us as much thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. So there's the iron and the clay mixed. So the strength of iron gives a vibe of the Romans, and that's and the strength is like it's fortified the foundations of it, if you like it. And I won't go into the word now, but I get that in the blue letter and see that if it says the strength coming, meaning the foundations or founded upon, because I've got a feeling that might be what the interpretation is, but I'll go into that. And as the toes of the feet were part iron and part clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And that is again, the whole idea of fiat currency, right? That you are, strong on them, maybe fundamentally strong for a while, but there's a fundamental flaw in your system that will cause it to break apart at some point. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall be not left to any other people, but it shall break into pieces and consume these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. And that is where we are. For as much as thou sawest that stone was cut out of the mountain without hand, and that it brake into pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God hath made known to the king that what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. So it's not like, oh, this is a possible future, this is what's going to happen. Then the king Nebuchadnezzar, because he was rocked. I say, someone told you what you dreamed, and actually, because you forget some of the details, and as they're saying it, it's coming back to you. You would be rocked. So the king fell upon his face and worshipped Daniel, and commanded that they should offer oblation and sweet odors unto him. So yeah, so I want to just get that. Where was it? Daniel 41 sec 2:41. One sec. So I'm just getting that now. One sec. I'm not sure if you can see this, because it might be on another thing. Daniel chapter 2 verse 41. The strength, concordance H5326. From the root, that's what I told you. I knew it. From the root corresponding to fixedness, that is firmness, strength. So the fixedness, the firmness, the foundations of Babylon the Great are based on the Roman structure. The structure. I'll see if I can get it. For as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. Miry is interesting. Let's see. Strong session in fact, clay, miry. Maybe relating to H2916. From an unused root to be sticky, rather perhaps diminutive through the idea of dirt to be swept away, model clay. I'm not sure about that. But basically, the root of the kingdom is in the Roman Empire, and we know that clay is assumed to be debt. So the debt, the whole idea of fiat currency, and this idea of this currency that you is at some point to be redeemed. So it means that all of your currency effectively works as debt, and this is the end of the system, man. We are at the point where the petrodollar, we've got AI, like it's a perfect storm. We've got BRICS, we've got um the blocking of of the port of the Red Sea, of the strait that goes into the Red Sea towards Israel. So everybody got to go around the Horn of Africa to deliver. The Houthis attacking. We got China threatening Taiwan. Now Taiwan is the biggest conductor of what's it called, semiconductors and chips. So they're gonna be wanting, they're gonna take Taiwan, 100%, 100%, because they're not gonna like before it was just like economic benefit, but now when we're talking about the race to AI and AGI, which is artificial general intelligence and artificial super intelligence, which is basically the capacity, first of all, AGI being the capacity for a machine to do just as well a job, better than or just as well as people, and then super intelligence for machines to do work many times better than people. The 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 countries, the nation states are racing towards AGI because it's now not even about nuclear supremacy. It's now not even about financial supremacy. It's now about computational supremacy. It's now about um, what they might call um, artificially intelligent supremacy. They're all racing towards that. So we've got a lot of things, and at the same time, we've got the Babylon's got a fool of a president. We've got rampant poverty, spiraling prices, deflation of the dollar. It's just everything's happening at the same time, and the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai he's architected this perfectly. It's what they might call a black swan event or a perfect storm. Everything's coming together at once, and it's just to humiliate Esau. It's just so that he knows that he's done. He's done both sides, and kind of crispy in the middle too. So with that, I'd like to say shalom, and it's on to the next one.